Is not the South African Nuclear Energy Corporation's headquarters at Phelindaba, west of Joburg, a hive of activity at the moment as local and foreign guests await a keynote address by President Jacob Zuma to mark the 50th anniversary of the country's nuclear program. Now, among those attending tonight are representatives of foreign bidders eyeing a piece of the very much anticipated R1 trillion government tender to build 6 new power stations over the next 15 years. Let's cross live now. Reporter Mbongeni Muthwa is there. Mbongeni, what's happening at the moment and what is our president expected to say?
Well, at the moment it's a hive of activity. Like you've said, people have been arriving from about 4 o'clock, going through strict security checks and everything, but you can see the spirits are high. People are looking forward to the arrival of the president. He is expected to come here and then go and unveil what we believe is a plug marking the 50th anniversary of Safari 1, which is the nuclear reactor that was launched here 50 years ago. We are told that that nuclear reactor is used for research. It's come up already with applications that are being used to detect early heart disease and cancer. So today's occasion is to actually mark that. But of course, if you look at the faces around here, you're seeing Chinese-looking men in suits, and we assume that they are one of the highly interested bidders, of course, for the R1 trillion tender that government has been working on to issue to build those 6 nuclear reactors to supply nuclear energy in the country. As you know, that our energy at the moment is not sufficient, Francis.
Mbongeni, well, tendering hasn't even started yet and it's already controversial suggestions that government is favouring Russia. But of course, contracts are being signed with various countries. Are those bidders expecting much, do you think?
Well, in terms of what the president may say here, of course, you know, there's been a lot of reports around that there is intense lobbying going on for this mega tender. It's the biggest tender that will be, when it is actually issued, it will be the biggest in the history of the country and also one of the biggest ever issued in the world. So you can imagine there is intense lobbying and jostling behind the scenes. Companies from France, China, Russia, South Korea, Japan, the United States, they all want a piece of this, and there are lobbyists and consultants involved, and there is stories coming up now that South Africa has already signed a secret deal with with Russia, something that officially government has denied. So the expectation here is that the president may actually announce the way forward, the steps that are yet to unfold in terms of the issuing of this tender. As you know, government has been going around signing cooperation agreements with the countries from which the companies that are interested to bid from. They've signed cooperation agreements with Russia, China, France, and so on. So the president is likely maybe to hint or announce what's next. Already in the SONA, he announced that the first reactor must be switched on in 2023, which is 8 years from now. So if that deadline is going to be met, that tender must be issued, and actually work to build the reactor should start even this year, because it seems like it takes about 8 years for a nuclear reactor to be built and then commissioned, Francis.
Well, Mbongeni, the one problem there is that all funding for nuclear seemingly conspicuously absent from the actual budget. So government would say to that, well, this will be outlaid in the future. But like you say, it's becoming quite urgent. Would you agree with me that the president has made it clear he is keen on more nuclear energy? Perhaps even this is to be the legacy that he wants.
Absolutely. The intention of going ahead with this has been made abundantly clear, but the detail as to how the whole process is going to unfold going forward, that's what has been lacking. As a result, you can imagine the interest and for instance, people descending here on this occasion, which is a celebratory occasion, but you can see these interested bidders descending here just to see if they can get even a hint from the president's address when he speaks here at the gala dinner later as to what government is thinking, what it's planning in terms of moving forward with this. So intention is clear, but the details are not very clear, and they've been scanned so far. So hence, I think the interest that we're seeing here tonight, Francis.
So people waiting for those details. Mbongeni, we lost you. You came back into vision, but thank you for that update live from Phelindaba.